Openness. It's a word that denotes opportunity and possibilities. Open-ended, open hearth, open source, open door policy, open bar. And everywhere, the world is opening up, and it's a good thing. Why is this happening? The technology revolution is opening the world. Yesterday's internet was a platform for the presentation of content. The internet of today is a platform for computation. The internet is becoming a giant global computer, and every time you go on it, you upload a video, you do a Google search, you remix something, you're programming this big global computer that we all share. Humanity is building a machine, and this enables us to collaborate in new ways. Collaboration can occur on an astronomical basis. Now, a new generation is opening up the world as well. I started studying kids about 15 years ago, so actually 20 years ago now, when I noticed how my own children were effortlessly able to use all this sophisticated technology. And at first I thought, my children are prodigies. But then I noticed all their friends were like them, so that was a bad theory. So I started working with a few hundred kids, and I came to the conclusion that this is the first generation to come of age in the digital age, to be bathed in bits. I called them the net generation. I said, these kids are different. They have no fear of technology because it's not there. It's like the air. Sort of like I have no fear of a refrigerator. And there's no more powerful force to change every institution than the first generation of digital natives. I'm a digital immigrant. I had to learn the language. The global economic crisis is opening up the world as well. Our opaque institutions from the industrial age, everything from old models of the corporation, government, media, Wall Street, are in various stages of being stalled or frozen or in atrophy or even failing. And this is now creating a burning platform in the world. I mean, think about Wall Street. The core modus operandi of Wall Street almost brought down global capitalism. Now, you know the idea of a burning platform, that you're somewhere where the costs of staying where you are become greater than the costs of moving to something different, perhaps something radically different. And we need to change and open up all of our institutions. So this technology push, a demographic kick from a new generation, and a demand pull from a new economic and global environment is causing the world to open up. Now, I think, in fact, we're at a turning point in human history where we can finally now rebuild many of the institutions of the industrial age around a new set of principles. Now, what is openness? Well, as it turns out, openness has a number of different meanings. And for each, there's a corresponding principle for the transformation of civilization. The first is collaboration. Now, this is openness in the sense of the boundaries of organizations becoming more porous and fluid and open. The guy in the picture here, I'll tell you a story, his name is Rob McEwen. I'd like to say, I have this think tank, we scour the world for amazing case studies. The reason I know this story is because he's my neighbor. He actually moved across the street from us, and he held a cocktail party to meet the neighbors. And he says, you're Don Tapscott. I've read some of your books. I said, great, what do you do? And he says, well, I used to be a banker, and now I'm a gold miner. And he tells me this amazing story. He takes over this gold mine, and his geologist can't tell him where the gold is. He gives him more money for geological data. They come back. They can't tell him where to go into production. After a few years, he's so frustrated, he's ready to give up. But he has an epiphany one day. He wonders, if my geologists don't know where the gold is, maybe somebody else does. So he does a radical thing. He takes his geological data, he publishes it, and he holds a contest on the internet called the Gold Corp Challenge. It's basically $500,000 in prize money for anyone who can tell me, do I have any gold? And if so, where is it? He gets submissions from all around the world. They use techniques that he's never heard of. And for his $500,000 in prize money, Rob McEwen finds $3.4 billion worth of gold. The market value of his company goes from $90 million to $10 billion. And I can tell you, because he's my neighbor, he's a happy camper. You know, conventional wisdom says talent is inside, right? Your most precious asset goes out the elevator every night. He viewed talent differently. He wondered who were their peers. He should have fired his geology department, but he didn't. You know, some of the best submissions didn't come from geologists. They came from computer scientists, engineers. The winner was a computer graphics company that built a three-dimensional model of the mine where you can helicopter underground and see where the gold is. He helped us understand that social media is becoming social production. It's not about hooking up online. This is a new means of production in the making. And this idea agora that he created, an open market agora for uniquely qualified minds, was part of a change, a profound change in the deep structure and architecture of our organizations and how we sort of orchestrate capability to innovate, to create goods and services, to engage with the rest of the world. In terms of government, how we create public value. Openness is about collaboration. Now, secondly, openness is about transparency. This is different. Here we're talking about the communication of pertinent information to stakeholders of organizations, employees, customers, business partners, shareholders, and so on. And everywhere our institutions are becoming naked. People are all bent out of shape about WikiLeaks, but that's just the tip of the iceberg. You see, people at their fingertips now, everybody, not just Julian Assange, have these powerful tools for finding out what's going on, scrutinizing, informing others, and even organizing collective responses. Institutions are becoming naked. And if you're going to be naked, well, there's some corollaries that flow from that. I mean, one is fitness is no longer optional. You know? Or if you're going to be naked, you better get buff. Now, by buff, I mean you need to have good value, because value is evidence like never before. You say you have good products, they better be good.